is. Oh. Oh, hold up. Hold up. I'm not really particularly a fan of what's about to happen here. We're going to lose our Incineroar, which is fine. I think I have more questions. What's going on, everybody? Late K here, back for a VGC video showcase, the first Champions video on our channel. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring in one of my all-time favorite Pokemon as our first Mega showcase, being Aggron. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Aggron? That should have stayed in Master, or like Regulation MA, right? Yeah, no. It should have. But, we're here. We're stubborn, and quite frankly, we've managed to go undefeated yesterday in a local. I say yesterday, but the day that I recorded this, the day before that. So, anyway, went undefeated in a local with this team. Very interesting, very interesting team. It's got some promise on the ladder. Had a lot of fun doing this one. It's a weird team, as you can see. ALTARIA is heavily carried by the Espartha setup. Aggron benefits from Trick Room, so it's kind of a min-max, not min-max, but like a fast and a slow mode. Like, it's kind of pick your poison type deal. So obviously we have Aggron as our first Mega. You know, it's your standard wall set, body press, iron defense, heavy slam, protect, yada yada yada. Actually running an impish nature. Let me go ahead and show y'all the stats over here, because y'all should definitely try this team out. If you like some off meta, like goofy stuff, this is your pick. This is, you know, what you want to go for. Been having a lot of fun doing some off-meta teams. As y'all probably have guessed by now, me, Kaguya Faults, and Moxie Boosted also just did a collab video featuring Scolipede. I was going to make a video over that myself, but it's like, I mean, Kaguya's got that one covered, so let's just do a different Mega. Let's have fun with a different Mega, and that being, you know, ALTARIA and Aggron, because I'm one of those firm believers of dual Megas. I love the dual Mega idea. Anyways, moving on. We got Aggron, we got ALTARIA. Now this is kind of like that showcase Pokemon that, you know, what we're really doing this for. And I'm going to be real, guys. ALTARIA by itself is just not a good Pokemon. This thing is... Definitely, you need Espartha to set up. So, like, if you go to use Mega ALTARIA as your go-to, like, Espartha was Baton Pass, Calm Mind. You want to at least get one Calm Mind up. You'll probably have Sneasler or Incineroar set up Fake Out next to it. And then you could sit there, Baton Pass, bring it in. And if you get Incineroar, you can just Parting Shot into Oranguru, and you can just start Hyper Voice Instruct damage. It's absolutely bonkers. I actually ended up doing that with my last set at the locals and ended up winning the entire thing. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend. But moving on, we got Sash Espartha. This is kind of your standard Espartha set. You know, Protect, Baton Pass, Lumnia, Crash, and Calm Mind. We are actually running Modest instead of Timid, solely for the fact being is that a little bit of extra damage does come in handy, especially with Pesky Ground or Psychic Poison types. Oh my gosh, I have not done this kind of commentary in a very long time, and I feel really dumb. But those pesky poison types, such as like Mega Venusaur and stuff, it helps like tear through this. It really, you can't do anything against dark types, but you know, honestly, that's why you have Sneasler, you have Aggron. Those pick up that. Sneasler, it's a Unburdened set. It's your standard one, except getting rid of Protect for coaching. You can kind of mix and match there. Coaching is if you want to just set up Aggron without, you know, the Oranguru. If you feel like you want to try and shut down their Trick Room teams or whatever. Or if they ain't got speed control themselves, it's really good. Dire Claw, Close Combat, Fake Out Coaching, standard set. It's semi-standard set. Incineroar is your standard Incineroar with Parting Shot, Fake Out, Flare Blitz, and Dark Slayer. It's got a little bit of speed to outspeed other Incineroars. There's really not much to say. This Pokemon needs no introduction. This is easily, as we know, the best Pokemon in VGC history. Yeah, and it's not even close. Oranguru is one of these Pokemon that, like, I've genuinely had a lot of fun doing. Like, especially back in the Scarlet and Violet era, I was running Oranguru Nose Pass, and I know what you're thinking, no, Nose Pass, but it was Regav, or H, yeah, H, that one. The one with no legendaries at all. It was a lot of fun. Did a lot of damage. Got a few local like top cuts with it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was goofy. But you know, it's Instruct, Foul Play, Psychic, Trick Room, Mental Herb, Inner Focus, because you know, last thing you need is to get taunted or encored and then just lose it all. And the best part is you can't fake it out. You know, and a lot of people tend to miss that. A lot of people tend to miss that. Alright, so moving back over to Altaria real quick, we do have a different setup, you know, no Tailwind, no Roost or anything. This team does have a critical weakness of no recovery, which both Megas would benefit greatly for. So if you were to change up the team, I would probably suggest dropping Incineroar. I would suggest dropping Incineroar for Sinistcha. Sinistcha would be a really great ally, you know, especially with like Life Dew or one Pokemon I did tinker with, but I felt like it was a heavy redundancy, was Clefable. With not Psych, yeah, it was Psych Up, Life Dew, Follow Me, and Moonblast over Incineroar. But as I said, it felt like a redundancy given it was unaware, all that, and it just it felt like a wet noodle at times. But there are many little changes that you can do to like tinker to this team to, you know, suit you. You could go high speed. You can drop the Trick Room. You can drop the speed aspect. But yeah, there's a lot that can be done about this. Altaria also has access to Fire Blast because Fire Blast with +1 actually OHKOs standard King Gambit. Looking at the stat spreads, you can see that this is also more of a defensive team. Bar the Espartha, obviously, and Sneasler is going to be adamant. Keep that in mind when going up against other Sneaslers, is that you will lose the speed tie each time. But for the most part, you just get a close combat off, you get that unburden boost, and you're faster than everything still. So it's no big deal. There's really nothing else to say about these teams much. I mean, these Mons. So I think without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some battles to see how this team works out, so we can do a breakdown and a physical how-to with this team. Alright, we will see you guys over there. Alrighty, we have our first challenger of the day, and that is Manu. Alright, Manu is running a very interesting team. It's actually kind of scary against ours. I think we could benefit from going ahead and doing the Espartha lead. Let's go ahead and do Espartha and Incineroar. And I can see some merit of actually going Altaria over Aggron this time. And the main reason for that is because Aggron does kind of get hit pretty hard against it's hard walled against Cerulege, I couldn't remember its name for a second, and it does struggle against a couple others Mons, and if that's Raichu Y, Focus Blast is going to be a critical issue for us. So I think this would be our best bet, is just going ahead and running Altaria for this one, because Altaria can hit Draco Meteor onto the Cerulege and pretty much just clean house with Hyper Voice on everything else. The only thing I see an issue with... Oh, I don't know this song. Anyways. The only issue I can see is maybe perhaps a slight chance of being Sylveon. I'm a little scared of Sylveon. Alright, so we're actually just going to Calm Mind here. And the reason we're Calm Minding here is because Garchomp is at -1. We're actually going to fake out the Raichu. And the reason we're faking out the Raichu here... Oh, okay. So we just exchanged fake outs, that's no big deal. We get the Calm Mind up. That's fine, because I See, I mean, it's going to drag us to our Sash, worst case scenario. It's actually special. Alright. I guess we're getting ready for Garchomp Z. That's actually one of those Pokemon I'm like super worried about in the near future. But we're actually going to protect here. And the reason we're protecting here is that way there's no Encore to us, there's none of that shenanigan. We're going to Parting Shot into Garchomp, because we should survive. I'm sorry, just Special Garchomp is not on my itinerary. I know we are in Master Ball League, don't get me wrong. We're lower because I haven't had any real time to actually play, but interesting. Regardless. Alright, that's fine. So maybe this is Mega Garchomp coming in? It is. Oh. Oh, hold up. I'm not really particularly a fan of what's about to happen here. We're going to lose our Incineroar, which is fine. I think I have more questions than anything in this situation here, but that's fine. Because we're going to bring in our Oranguru here. And we're going to Baton Pass. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand what's happening right in front of our face right now. Let's go ahead and foul play the Garchomp because we can't really start doing the instruct shenanigans right off the bat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man. I really do not know how to react to what we're seeing here. One benefit, they don't get the Sand Force boost here. Alright, yeah, that's actually a huge, like, situation there. Alright. So, now we do Mega Evolve, we Hyper Voice, and we just Instruct. This is definitely not a team that I was expecting, but I've started to realize real quick, when it comes to, when you're on YouTube, expect the unexpected. If you have not seen the Scolipede team between me, Kaguya, and Moxie Boosted, please treat yourself, because oh my god, you're missing out on some real wild battles. Alright, so we're at +2. This should actually eviscerate these guys. Alright, I'm okay with that, to a lesser extent. But this is the beauty of Instruct. If it doesn't pick up, it finishes. I say the bulky Raichu because we are +1, which is weird. That's a very bulky Raichu. It's definitely a support Raichu. Probably Fake Out, Nuzzle, Electro Web. Maybe Discharge. Now, we'll say it is a crying shame that we do lose out on our Instruct, like, super early on. Alright. I think we should still be able to handle this decently? I say with an asterisk. Because we're faster, we do wipe Garchomp here. 68%, I mean, we are modest, so we do have to worry about, oh, man. Yeah, I knew this was going to be problematic. So the question is are we worried about Shadow Sneak? I think we are worried about Shadow Sneak here. but I think we're down to maybe one more turn of Sandstorm. So I think we could still pull this back, actually. Yeah, we're down to one turn of Sandstorm, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to protect here, and we're actually going to go ahead and Luminia Crash the Ceruledge again. Because after the Sandstorm's over, we should be able to clear out... We should be able to clear out this Tyranitar. Especially if it's a single target. Alright, perfect. Perfect. Alright, so there's a Luminia Crash right into this thing. So we unfortunately do lose Espartha here. But honestly, Espartha can't do anything, and Espartha did what he needed to do. So, Sandstorm's gone. Hyper Voice most definitely will KO here. Oh yeah, without question, with 100% certainty. GG to our opponent. But hey, look, right off the bat. Let's go. Love to see it. Alright. Yeah, so we're fairly low Master Ball, but as I said, I haven't had much time to play. Honestly, I want to try and get the champion. I would like to do that as a YouTube thing, but I can't make no promises because, as I said, I'm super busy. But I'm trying to think what we could do better here. That match, I think we played it pretty spot on. We did get blindsided, like we got severely blindsided by a special Garchomp. That was not on our check marks. Sylveon would have definitely been problematic if they did bring it in, especially late game when I didn't have the opportunity or option to do the instruct shenanigans. I'm trying to think what we could have done better. I think we actually did play that one pretty spot on. Because, I mean, there was no way of telling, hey, that's a special Chomp. But yeah, I think we did good. I think they also played really good, especially calling the Power Gem into the Espartha swap. But we are chunkier, so... yeah, let's go ahead and move on into our next match. Let's see what we got going on. Trying to think. Like, as I said, I don't think there was any way we could have improved our play there. I really don't think there was a way to improve our play situation. So, anywho, our next opponent is running a very interesting semi-rain team. This is an interesting one. I almost feel that this is like an Aggron lead. Not a lead, but I feel like this is an Aggron team. Aggron does kind of trash its team pretty well. The only issue is Pelipper itself. But I think if we play our cards correctly, we should be able to just deal with that. So what we're going to lead is we're going to actually lead Sneasler and Oranguru. We're going to have Aggron in the back for picking up pretty much everything, and Altaria. Actually, do we want Altaria? No, we don't want Altaria. We could go Incineroar in the back, because Incineroar still does do some damage to Metagross, Basculegion. So that's probably our best case, like our best case scenario right there. Pick it up just in case. Alright. Okay, so this is actually a solid lead against, this is actually a really solid lead on both of our ends. So, we're just going to go ahead and Dire Claw the Sylveon, and we're actually going to Trick Room here. I actually am 100% okay with losing Sneasler. 100% for the fact is we got body press on that. Or, yeah, on Aggron. I don't know, for some reason I was looking at Metagross, I was like, I think I got that wrong. Alright, Sylveon is gone, that's huge. Yeah, this was 100% not gonna go in our favor if we had, this was 100% not gonna be in our favor in any caliber if we brought Altaria. That would have been an instant loss situation for us. Like, yeah, we got Fire Blast, but, like, a mixture of Bullet Punch and Hyper Voice would have just, like, set it down. So, let's go ahead and bring in Aggron here. Just in case it got King Gambit in the back, I don't want to deal with that. And perfect. 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 Oh, and the Supreme Overlord, which is a very interesting take. So let's go ahead and body press here, and we're actually going to foul play into the same slot, just in case it's Sash. Because Metagross poses very little threat to this lead up here. Like, I love Metagross. It's, like, easily, again, one of my favorite Megas. It's such a cool design, and it's such a lethal Pokemon, but I'm going to be honest. It really has an issue now, given that it's lost Heavy Slam. Alright, Chople Berry. I think we'll be alright. I mean, it's not as much as I'd like to have done, but honestly, it's better than nothing. Okay. That's so much damage. Oh, okay. That checks out why that was so much damage. I was like, oh my god, why'd that do so much? Honestly, we can just body press again, and we're actually going to outplay the Metagross this time, because this is actually going to hit Metagross like a freight train. Probably about 50% damage. No, they could just Bullet Punch. Oh, they didn't. Okay. Alright, so King Gambit is down. Foul Play is going to, yeah, do about 50% like I called. Alright. Kill, kill, kill. Yeah, they are crying. They just do not want this Aggron alive. And, you know, that's fine. I think Aggron can go take a step back real quick. And the reason we're doing that is that way Bullet Punch doesn't KO our Oranguru, and, you know, just intimidates such a lovely ability to have. That's why I love having two fake out users, and, you know, as much as I do dislike Incineroar as a Pokemon, you can't deny its utility and its beauty. Alright, so go ahead and chunk that. Chunk that. Alright, so that was actually okay, and that was kind of planned for. But, you know, they forfeit regardless, and I really, really, really love to see that. So we did encounter, or we did expect the foul play to not KO the second time. But, hey, it worked. We're alright. We're here. Alright, I think we got time for one more match. Again, I don't think there was anything we could have done any better. I think we played that again spot on. We had like the correct lead. If we brought Altaria to that one, that would have been, we would have 100% lost that one. There would have been no way we would have gotten out of that one alive. Supreme Overlord was an interesting one. I see the value in it, but also being said, knowing that it was Supreme Overlord, we could have just swapped Aggron earlier. We could have swapped Aggron earlier. We could have just Flare Blitzed into it. there was a couple things that we could have done a little bit better in retrospect, but I think overall, I think we still played like super off. We're like super good. We're like not off, but super on par. That's what I was trying to say. All right, moving on to what might be our last match, depending on how everything is. Because I want to keep these at a reasonable length, maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Or like anywhere from the 25-minute block to 45-minute block. That's where I want. All right, so they have the option of many megas. They have many megas. I feel like our two biggest, like, obvious megas are obvious is Swampert and Alakazam. But the question is does Alakazam actually pose a threat to us? I think this is 100% an Aggron. Like, this is another Aggron team. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to leave Gambit, Harambe, Roro, and then Incineroar. Because I really don't see a reason not to run that that set again. The only thing I could see possible is that if we ran Altaria over Incineroar, but at the same time, is it really a necessary like situation? Because we could do this one of two ways. If it is a Alakazam lead, like if it's an Alakazam Talonflame lead, we could easily just hard swap like Sneasler into Incineroar and then Trick Room, and then we get the fake out regardless, or we could just Dark Slayer it. We could do like whatever we please. But we also got to keep in mind that Talonflame does have access to Taunt, which is something I didn't really click immediately, but it's fine. It is a-okie dokie. Okay, so we did call the Alakazam lead. Given that we did call the Alakazam lead, let's go ahead and bring in like hard swap Incineroar, and we're gonna go ahead and Trick Room. Like, I think that is like not only the best course of action, our only smart call. Okay. There's Talonflame. It's actually kind of funny, not gonna lie. We call it pretty well. Just swapped it, but this is also huge. White Herb Talonflame is interesting, so maybe we'll see Acrobatics coming in. But this is gonna be fine. We're gonna chunk this very well. Yeah, we're gonna chunk that. That might be Life Orb. No? That's just Adamant. Okay. So we can't, I'm gonna say this right now, we cannot, I was trying to think. We definitely 100% cannot bring an Aggron like all willy-nilly, knowing that damage output. But we got Talonflame out of there. Upper Hand's a really cool strategy. I like it. It's just a shame that it's such a... I don't want to say it's a low, like... It feels like it's a low energy, like, move. That's what I'm trying to say. Or at least on a low energy Pokemon. Alright, so Psychic right into the Venusaur. That's fine. Because, like, it's just super easy on the fact that, like, we let Incineroar go down here. It did half its health. Alright, so now we go ahead and bring in Aggron. I feel like we Heavy Slam the Venusaur, and then we Psychic the Venusaur. Okay, we get it just doubled in, like instructed. But I don't think there's any universe that they go for an Earthquake here, right? Okay. So we did good. We did good. That was a smart play. That was a good play because I think they lose. They actually 100% lose this thing because like it's just such a heavy Pokemon. And I look at Sam as like 2 pounds soaking wet. Alright. So Venusaur is more than likely going to protect again. They're going to try and like stagger this Trick Room real quick. So let's go ahead and instruct Body Press just to wipe out Swampert here. Alright, wasn't enough, but then we just go ahead and instruct and clears it up. Alright, honestly, I can just go for an Iron Defense here, and we're going to Trick Room again, because Venusaur poses a substantially smaller issue. So they could Giga Drain. If they Leech Seed, it's going to be annoying, but honestly, I'm not worried too much. And, okay, Sludge Bomb, that's fine. Sludge Bomb, I am okay with. Because we got Body Press time. Because it might be... I mean, my thing is I feel like it might be a Leech Seed Sludge Bomb strat. And Heavy Slam isn't going to do as much. I mean, we can start coaching, actually. We can really start coaching. I think coaching might actually be a funnier pick. I mean, this is why we have coaching. So this Heavy Slam should do maybe about 50%. Alright, so it's Earth Power, so this is just hyper offensive. Okay. So if this does about 50%, we'll be alright. 62. Okay, so yeah, Venusaur is a lot heavier than I thought. So I think what we're going to do here is... because Earth Power might KO us too. Yeah, so let's Heavy Slam. Let's Dire Claw. I feel like there's a very substantial risk that Earth Power KOs Sneasler. Alright, so they just went for Aggron, that's fine. Because we just win here, or at least we should. It's gonna get real awkward real quick if it doesn't KO. But it does. Alright, alas. Alright. So there we go. I think we played really good. I think what we did is we did get a little lackadaisical towards the end, or like to the middle of that match. We got a little lackadaisical. We kind of did not take it too overly serious. I feel like that we got a little too comfortable once we realized, hey, we could just start like Intimidate swapping, letting Incineroar go instead of just Parting Shot. Like there was a lot of cogs right there that we started getting a little bit lazy. I do notice that. So I think we did play really good though. Again, this would have been a team that Altaria may have been alright with. I think Altaria may have been alright with, especially with that lead. However, that lead, they could have easily just Mega Alexammed Trace Speed Boost and completely eviscerated us without a second guess, too. So, I mean, maybe the Altaria strat was not the call regardless, but does not matter. We still pulled that off. We still got it right. Hopefully this was a good enough showing of how this team works. And if you guys want to check this out, try it for yourself. Don't forget the team code is in the beginning of the video, and it's also going to be in the it's going to be the pinned comment. So yeah, don't forget to go ahead and check that out, folks. Thank y'all for watching. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, please. I want to try and get to 1,000 subs by the end of this year. I know we can do that. I know we can easily pull that off. But yeah, don't forget to do that. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to, you know, tell your friends about this. If there's a Mega that you want to see me try and pilot and build a team around, let me know. I'm your guy. I will definitely go ahead and try and see what I can do. But until then, hey, y'all take it easy. Y'all be safe. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Locking Down the Ladder. Y'all take care. Bye.